For today's Cyber CEO episode,
leverage. It's what has allowed me to do the things that I have wanted to do. I have people around me. I have surrounded myself with a team that can take care of the 80% of the things that need to be done so I can focus on those top level 20% and really, help to move my businesses forward. You can have Cyberbackers to handle anything from making phone calls for you, checklists, the listing process. There are 181 tasks that go along with every real estate transactions. Guess what? I am not doing all 181 of those tasks, and that really maximizes my time. Cyberbacker can help people in other parts of their lives as well. What a blessing to have a team around you, because your virtual leverage becomes like family. I feel that way about my Cyberbackers, and I feel like they are family. That's the biggest blessing that I've seen through all of this. They are the best.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our Cyberbackers helped our Cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. It's a great day here at Cyberbacker, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO, and of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Krister, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for being on the show. I know you're very busy, so we really appreciate your time. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners just like yourself, so I need your help. Can you tell us something about yourself and what you do, Krister?
Absolutely. I am a realtor, first and foremost. I've had my real estate license for just about a quarter century now, 25 years. So that sounds like a long time. I think it is a long time. I also happen to be a multiple business owner. So I have a real estate team. I also have a consulting business. I was up until very recently a MAPS coach, and I also got a couple of other projects going, and I am a Cyberbacker franchise owner.
Gosh, I can only imagine how busy your calendar looks like every day. It must be pretty crazy.
It does. It's a little bit crazy, but I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. The greatest one I have is a little thing called leverage. I'm sure you're familiar with it, and it's what has allowed me to do the things that I have wanted to do. Simply put, I have people around me. I have surrounded myself with a team that can take care of the 80% of the things that need to be done so I can focus on those top level 20% and really, help to move my businesses forward.
Gosh. So if you don't mind me asking, is this your first time working with people who are virtual then, Krister? First time?
No, it's not. I've actually had multiple assistants over the years, a Cyberbacker. And it's always been a fantastic experience. As you alluded to, time is our most precious commodity right now.
Absolutely.
And, there's only 24 hours in the day, and there's only so many hours that we want to work. We all have lives and families and other things that we want to do. So really utilizing, your time at work for the most important tasks is really important. So I've utilized now Cyberbackers and virtual leverage for over 10 years.
Gosh, a long time, a lot of experience already in the virtual world at that. Now, take me back though. What were your first thoughts or first feelings about when the first time you heard about virtual leverage anyway?
No, I can tell you exactly. I said to myself, this will never work. Yeah, I need somebody right here. I need somebody right beside me, sitting in the seat right beside me, or walking in lockstep with me, taking notes. And it was just a limiting belief. It was really just one of those things. It was something that was new that I was not familiar with. And just like anything else that's new, there's a learning curve. But it really happens very quickly. You really start to understand the relationship that you have with your Cyberbacker or your virtual leverage, where they can help you, where perhaps they can't help you. And that just provides clarity, right? And that's what, as business owners, what we truly need, besides more time, is always clarity in our business.
Absolutely agree with you there, 100%. Now, how long have you been partnered with Cyberbacker then, by the way?
Well, I just recently became a Cyberbacker franchise owner after having a wonderful experience with Cyberbacker. I believe that's probably how a lot of people get into this. But yeah, I mean, with Cyberbacker now as a franchise owner, we're in our first 90 days, but it's been multiple years in the making.
So talk to me about that then. How can a cyberbacker help a business owner? For example, a business owner who's only hearing about virtual leverage for the first time. Well, how would you explain that to that business owner, Krista?
Right. So having a Cyberbacker franchise is exactly the same as being a real estate agent. Right. What we're trying to do is to find clients, right? We're going to try to go out there and find clients that require virtual leverage. Just like a real estate agent is going out there looking for people that want to buy houses or sell houses. And so what is the highest use of either a real estate agent or a franchise owner? That is having one-on-one conversations with people. What I need is people behind me to feed me the names of the people that I should be calling and having conversations with. I need people behind me that are going to follow up in a systematic way, so that we maintain our relationships. And that way I can focus on what I do best, which is having great conversations with fantastic people like yourself. So let me ask you, do you need to buy or sell a house?
And that's right there. Just a good example of how you take advantage of the virtual leverage, right? So 10 years now working with people who are virtual. Now, how about tasks? No, task-wise, what are the things that you can leverage off to a person who's virtual, to a cyberbacker? I mean,
yeah, I mean, to a Cyberbacker, I mean, I have a Cyberbacker team behind me for my Cyberbacker operation. But in the real estate world, you can have Cyberbackers to handle anything from making phone calls for you, checklists, the listing process. There are 181 tasks that go along with every real estate transactions. Guess what? I am not doing all 181 of those tasks. Everything from social media. I have a social media backer who is posting all of my social media. Again, I get to focus on the fun stuff, coming up with the captions, coming up with the mofers and the direct messages, right? But I have somebody else that's doing the lion's share of the work, setting up all the templates for me. And that really, maximizes my time. But yeah, within the real estate world, you could have a cyberbacker for virtually every aspect of it, besides the stuff that has to be done in person, of course. And, cyberbacker can help people in other parts of their lives as well.
As long as they can do it in front of a computer, anything that they can do on the internet, Absolutely. Of course, they can do. That's just not that. Give me a coffee here or there, right? That's the only thing.
But they can set appointments for you.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. So, how about the trust? The way you talk about virtual leverage feels like you've been because you've been working with them for a very long time now. So, how do you build trust with someone that you're working with virtually? Because we get that here sometimes, especially during the beginning of the partnership with a business owner and a cyberbacker. How do I trust my cyberbacker? How do I start that? How did you do it?
I would say kind of like 3 C's, right? So clarity, communication, and co-ownership. So, clarity, what is it that I require of my, cyberbacker, my virtual leverage? Just the same as when you're hiring anybody. The more clear on what you need that person to do, well, then you're removing any of the gray areas, the areas that can be misinterpreted, right? So we start off with clarity. Exactly what is it that I need? And then we go through a process of a little bit of dating, right? I mean, so we're going to go through the interview process, and just like hiring somebody that's going to be sitting in the office with you, you're probably not just going to go out and interview one person and then slap them into into the seat. Right? You're going to go through the interview process, and we do the same thing at Cyberbacker, where you will go through and, we're not going to be happy until you find the right cyberbacker for you that you're going to meld with and mesh with. And then the last thing I would say is that just like all relationships, over time they change and they morph, right? So your needs might change, or the job might change. You might need to grow or expand or shrink, right? So again, this is a relationship with the company Cyberbacker and then the individuals within it. Nothing says that you have to hire one person and have them for the rest of your life. As much as we would like that, we also understand that there are different needs that people have.
Absolutely agree. Again, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who's listening, the three C's, as mentioned by Chris, are very, very important when diving into the virtual partnership. Now, how about challenges? Again, you've had a long run working with people who are virtual. Have you had any challenges working with people who are virtual?
Always. Yeah. I mean, I think that we have challenges in every aspect of our life, right? One thing that I try to teach my kids is that things aren't always going to go perfectly, and we can't always avoid the unpleasant things that happen in life. So there's no difference here. Again, we come down to clarity, communication, and co-ownership, right? Those three things apply in this situation as well, because if we're clear on what the expectation was, and then that expectation is not being met, either by the client or the cyberbacker, well, then you've got a situation that needs to be discussed. And if you look at it that way as just, these situations and then, the communication then comes in, right? So we're clear on what everybody's tasks are. And if there's a difference in what's happening or what should happen, then the communication, let's sit down and talk about it. Is there something that's keeping you from doing your job? And then co-ownership. I mean, if we have already agreed that we're both, in love with this plan and the responsibilities that we each have, well, now we're both going to come at this from a place of mutually wanting it to work.
Yeah, and I think these challenges are really growth opportunities for the partnership as well. I think during the beginning of the partnership, this would really show up, especially during the first few months, first 90 days, right?
Yes.
It would really show up.
Yeah. And those are training opportunities to get them up to speed, as you're monitoring those first 90 days.
Yes, absolutely. So that's why we suggest to all of our cyber CEOs, of course, to invest their time during the beginning of the partnership, even just as early as day one, as they work with the cyberbacker, because again, it's a relationship that you have to work on. Again, is what you mentioned. It's like a relationship that you build, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's the business that we're all in, right? Is building relationships. I mean, that is at the heart of everything that we're trying to do.
Absolutely. Now, one last question while I still have you here. Now, what's been the biggest benefit of working with Cyberbacker in the past? I mean,
the fact that Cyberbacker has allowed me, and this is going to get kind of personal, right? I have some things going on in my family. My mom has gotten ill, and we all have these things that are in our lives, right? And what a blessing to have a team around you, because what you learn is that, your virtual staff, your virtual leverage becomes like family. I mean, I feel that way about my cyberbackers, and I feel like they are family. We share the ups together. We kind of, go through and support each other during the lows. And that's the biggest blessing that I've seen through all of this.
A lot of support right there, of course. Now, one last thing before we go. Obviously, your team, your cyberbackers are going to be listening to us right now. Would you want to give them a quick shout out or a quick message before we end today?
Absolutely. Brian and James and Emmanuel, you guys are rocking it. You guys are working harder than anybody. We appreciate you. We're doing great things together, and they are the best.
There we go. Now, we are very, very excited to see your continued success here with Cyberbacker. Of course, the sky is the limit. And again, thank you very much for being on the show. We really appreciate this.
Love it. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.